You know, every day I put on makeup for you guys, and then I come here and I immediately sweat it all off because, I'm just a person doing a lot of labor, physical labor. It's just not gonna look the same as when I'm sitting in my studio filming for you guys. It's just gonna be different. What can I say? I'm just a butch. Hi everyone, my name is Cathy G. Johnson. I am a cartoonist, printmaker, and educator, and today I am starting a new screen print that I'm going to be printmaking next week. But I figured I would get you guys in early and show you sort of the design process, at least what my design process looks like. So this is the sketch that I'm working off of. It's actually an older sketch from a sketchbook. It is 3 years old. It's dated June 16th, 2017. So I really like this sketch and I thought might be nice to inspire a new print. So it is set up right next to me while I am sketching on my Wacom 1. A print version. So right now it is just a very quick blue line sketch to get out all the basics. And then I'm gonna go from there and start adding color and layers and stuff like that. So here is the finished drawing. I did some tweaking after I turned it off. The tweaking I did was sort of more balancing the different color areas. I wanted lots of places where the blue would overlap the purple, and then the purple would overlap the light blue, and then sometimes the three overlapped all together just to kind of create a harmonious composition here. Yeah. Hi, it's another day. So what I've been doing is I printed off the layers of the digital sketch onto the size of the final print, which is 11 by 17. So these are all the individual layers. And what I do is I have sketched over them. So generally in the past, what I've done is I have done a pencil sketch over this digital sketch, but this is the first time I've done it with the Wacom 1, and I felt a lot more satisfied with the level of detail of these thumbnails. Usually my digital sketch isn't so detailed. So I went just right into actually tracing it onto the Duralar. Over here, this is the first layer. This is actually going to be the final layer. So this is the key layer of the final lines, the dark lines. So there's the details. So I've just been tracing that onto the Duralar, and that's this step. And here's number 2 and layer number 3. Hi, so I am sorting my inks. I'm going to be screen printing tomorrow morning. It's the night before. I am sorting my inks just to see what I want to be bringing and what I want to just leave home. So essentially what I do is I love to mix inks while I'm at the studio. So I bring every kind of ink type that I might want for the prints I'm doing. So the colors that we are doing are purples, reds, blues, some pinkies. So I'm bringing everything that's sort of on that spectrum. So things that I know I won't need is green. I got plenty of greens because I do a lot of like grass and stuff. Don't need orange. Don't need brown. And then also over here, I am just gathering some inks that I'm going to donate to friends over at Binge Press, which is a sort of trans and people of color centered studio, also in Providence. Or actually, I'm sorry, they are in the neighboring town, Central Falls, Rhode Island, neighboring to Providence. So what I'm doing is I'm just sort of pulling inks that I've had for a while, that they're still good inks, but they aren't inks that I've been using. But those guys over there are doing a lot of screen printing right now, so I'm just going to be donating some of this perfectly good ink, just in colors that I'm not interested in having. So gonna donate those to my friends. So basically, you saw this if you watched my studio tour. This is my ink shelf, so all I do every day before I start screen printing. I wish I had more room than just a single shelf, because then I could actually have stuff in order, but I don't. So what I do is I sort of pull anything that I'm not going to want to use. So this brown, yellow, I don't think I'm going to need yellow. Here's another box. Yeah, I'm going to sort this some more. See why? Maybe he's donating some of this perfectly fine ink that I probably am not going to. I just keep buying fresh ink. So might as well donate some of this older stuff to my friends. Alright, here we are. It's another day. It's day one of screen printing. What I've done is I've coated the screens with the photo emulsion, which is how the image will transfer to it. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some ink mixing. The prints that I'm making today they're mostly for fun. I'm an artist. I can just make stuff if I want to. You can too. So it is incredibly hot in the studio, so you're gonna watch me sweat. I'm gonna sweat a lot, and we're just gonna have to work through that together. So here is the image again. I've got that for reference. This is the paper that I'm going to be using today. So I've got two prints that I'm doing. First one is going to be Index Bright White, and the second one is gonna be pink. I'm very excited about that. I bought it on an absolute whim. What's wrong with pink? Nothing. Love it. So I can see we got a purple and we got a light blue. The dark blue, I'm probably just gonna straight up use my favorite ink, Blue Denim. So I think I'll start with the blue. So I like this peacock blue here. Do a little test. I think it could use more transparent base, actually. So this blue, even though it's lighter, it's going to be going over the purple layer. So I want it to be very transparent. The thing with transparency is you can't really see it. I wish I brought yellow. I think it's passable. It's not exactly what I have on the screen. I'm not actually printing this color until tomorrow, so maybe I'll add yellow tomorrow. Calling this print River for now. I'm not sure what its final title is going to be. Next is purple. Does not need to be so carefully transparent because this blue, it's actually the first layer. So this blue is actually going on top of it to get that double look. So it's perfectly fine if it has a lot of white in it. So luckily I'm kind of running out of transparent ink. I still like transparent. I like the way that transparency sinks into the paper. So I might end up trying to do transparency, but we'll see what happens. Okay, here's our spread. I'm gonna start out with this guy. Yes, 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 yes. I think we're getting there. I think we're there. Maybe we're there? A little test. A little test. See, I think there's a little duskiness to it still. This would be so much more satisfying if I just dumped it in, but that's just not how it works. Gotta go slow. Oh boy. There we are. So you can see the progression from when I first watched it to where I'm at now. I think that's her. Here are our two colors. I still think I'm going to add a tiny, teeny, tiny bit of yellow to this one. I'm feeling pretty good. Okay, and the last one that we're going to do is a red. So this is for the wolf print, which I don't know if I've shown you guys. Here's the digital sketch, and here is the final design. It's going to be a 1-layer screen print, which I don't do a lot of, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do split fountain, so half of it's going to be black, half of it's going to be red. Yes, yes, that's what I'm talking about. So I think I want a nice dark red to really pop on that pink, so that's what we're going to do now. So it's these two and these guys. And this is the paper it'll be on. That's nice. I'm happy. Okay, next. Actually want to burn it this way. So it looks pretty good to me. Pretty amorphous print, so just sort of eyeballing it, but I'm going to go grab another layer just to see how it's going. So this is the final layer. Just a touch. Yep, I think that's it. So happy with how that color turned out. That is pretty. I think we're ready just to roll. And there's the first layer. I am happy with her. Very nice. And that's one down. Okay, so first layer for the river print is done. I'm going to be letting that dry overnight because it is like 90 degrees outside, so there's really high humidity, and so it's a good idea for any print, but especially when it's really humid out, to let that first layer dry for a while so it kind of flattens out and it doesn't make the other layers end up getting wonky. So I'm going to move on to the wolf print. Okay, so I went home for lunch and I brought back a saw and a clamp. This is my high school squeegee. So you see it says Cathy Johnson without the G before I added the G. I brought it home. I haven't used it at all since I was 17 because it doesn't quite fit my screens. It's just a little too big. It seems like if I just chop a little bit off, it'll fit perfectly. If I'm not using it, what's the point of having it? So I'm going to try sawing it now. works so well now. I should have done this a long time ago. I don't know what I was waiting for. For split fountain, you got a few colors. So we're doing black, red, and this brown in the middle. We're going black on the back of the print. The heat is making some of this ink really runny. And this guy now perfectly fits. Hard to tell what's going on that one. So see, I gotta add a little bit more here. Let's try the proper one. Look at that thing. Okay, so day one is done. I'm gonna go wash up, clean up the screen, and then see you tomorrow. Hi, it's day two. I'm gonna pick these up and then start working on the next layer for the other print. Okay, so here is the first layer. I think it came out awesome. Here is the color for the next layer, but I did grab my yellow, so I wanted to add just a teeny bit of yellow to try to match the color. I just want it just a little warmer. So let me, not gonna do a lot because I don't want to end up green. Yeah, that's already so much more of what I wanted. Let's do a little testy poo. Here's the color that we had yesterday. Here's the color we have now. I'm much happier with that. But we'll print it and we'll see if I like it. Now we're gonna register. See, we're wicked off right now. I'm gonna grab the key layer, so the third layer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape this to this guy. Behind the scenes is I am sweating profusely. It's very hot in here. Haven't even started printing yet. I mean, part of the purposely the way I design prints is I don't need them to line up perfectly. I don't think that's too terribly interesting when they line up perfectly and just perfectly. Like, that's what the computers are for. You know, if I'm screen printing, I want it to have some personality. So this blue layer actually goes a lot of spots because it's the thinnest layer, or I'm sorry, the thinnest, the most transparent. So I can just sort of stick it everywhere. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Okay. See, I don't know how I was supposed to get that without the key layer. Look, it's art. Look, it's art. There's the wet one. Uh-oh. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it. I'm gonna try it in front of the fan. I think it needs more transparency. That's why we have tests. That's why we have tests. So I'm cleaning off, getting all the ink, because I don't want to waste any ink. I'm not gonna move the screen, I'm just gonna leave it. I think this one is really transparent. Maybe you're gonna throw some of this in there, just a touch. All right, let's try this again. Since this one has a lot of water on it, it's a bit of a bust. I'm not gonna be able to tell what's going on with that one. I mean, it's cool. Yeah, that's looking better to me. See, it's lighter. Yep. One more. Yes. Much better. Yes. There, do you see the difference? Too much nice, lighter, more subtle this one. This one's too heavy. I'm happy. Okay. All right, let's get going. Okay, second layer done. I'm gonna pick these up. I just had lunch. It was amazing. I had a burrito and a tamale from the place around the corner, and I haven't eaten there since March. Oh, it was amazing. Oh, I missed him so much. So I'm gonna do that. So I just wanted to show you guys once again the difference between the final ink that I decided to go with and the one that I decided wasn't quite light enough. It may be a little bit hard to tell the difference at first glance, but it's not the color that necessarily that was my problem, but it was the value, right? So the darkness and the lightness of a color. So you can tell I'm an art teacher here. So you see how there's more contrast between the lightness of the blue and the darker purple. Over here, that value is much more similar. So you see this is the same spot. Here's a light one, here's a dark one. Here you can really see it. So this had too much similarity. And so it just was too reliant on color. And I wanted a little bit more reliance and more interest on the different values. So here we have the lighter value of the blue, the slightly darker value of the purple, and then an even darker value of the two laying over each other. And then now I'm going to add the darkest color of all. So then we'll have the white of the paper, blue, purple, the overlap, and the darkness of the final color. So there's 5 different values. And here that I would have only had 4, right? So these are the two are the same value. And so I just was having problems with that. Also, while we're here, just might be nice to look at these overlaps. Look at those overlaps, such a beautiful color. And by that I mean that the blue over the purple creates that nice bonus color. I just think this came out great. I'm really happy with it. Yes. So then this is the hand-drawn positive that I'm going to be using to help align. So I'm just going to line this up. And that's pretty close. It's looking pretty good. And there it is. Well, that went very fast. And the final print is going to look similar to this. I have a dark blue that I'm going to be using that isn't going to be the black. I just like that it adds a little bit of depth to the line art rather than just straight black. So we'll release this guy. I'm completely surrounded by fans. I hope it's not too loud, but it is. Boiling hot, and I'm tired of dripping sweat down my forehead. Gotta stay hydrated. We ready to rumble. Oh, a new jar. Let's try a real one. It's interesting. It's a little bit more see-through than I was expecting. Don't think I mind that. Yeah, I like it. Okay, I think we're ready to get going. Hi! So I'm done. I'm just letting them dry. I got a fan on them. But since it's so hot, I'm guessing it's not going to take that long for them to dry, and then we're going to gather them up and sign them and then number them, and then they'll be for sale at my store pretty soon here. So thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Bye.